Did you know that 60% of people who reconnect with an ex end up regretting it? That's a pretty big number. Today, we're going to talk about why people come back after rejecting you and how to make sure you're not part of that 60%. Are you ready to learn? Have you ever felt like you were invisible to others? Like no matter what you did, people just didn't seem to notice you? It's a feeling many of us have experienced, and it can be pretty tough. Sometimes we might even feel rejected or overlooked by the people around you. Stop. But guess what? There's a secret power that can change all of that. It's called focusing on yourself. Now, you might be thinking, Mrs. K, how can paying attention to myself make others notice me? Well, let me tell you a little story, Doc. There was once a little girl named Lily who loved to paint. At first, she always painted what she thought others would like. She'd ask her friends and family what colors to use and what pictures to draw. But no matter how hard she tried, her paintings didn't seem special to anyone. Then one day, Lily decided to paint something just for herself. She used her favorite colors and drew the things she loved most. And you know what happened? Her art teacher noticed her painting and put it up on the wall. Suddenly, everyone was talking about Lily's amazing art. When we focus on ourselves and what makes us happy, we start to grow. We become more confident, more creative, and more true to who we are. It's like we're becoming the best version of ourselves. And the best part, when we focus on ourselves, we often discover new talents or interests we never knew we had. Maybe you'll find out you're great at telling jokes or that you have a knack for solving puzzles. These discoveries help us grow even more. Now, I bet you're wondering what other amazing things might happen when you start focusing on yourself. Well, get ready because some pretty exciting changes are coming your way. As you grow and become more confident, something magical starts to happen. People begin to notice you more. It's not because you're trying to get their attention, but because you're showing your true self. You become more visible to others and to yourself too. But here's really interesting. What do you think happens when people start noticing the new confident you? Well, that's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to find out? Welcome back, bookworms. This is Mrs. K. I'm glad you could join me. Now that you're becoming this amazing, confident version of yourself, something magical is about to happen. Did you know that butterflies can sense nectar from miles away? Well, guess what? People can sense your awesome new energy too. Let's talk about how your personal growth might become a powerful magnet. When we focus on ourselves and grow, it's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. At first, it's a little bug crawling on leaves, but as it changes, it becomes a beautiful butterfly that everyone notices. The same thing happens when we work on ourselves. We start to shine brighter and brighter. As we change and grow, people around us start to notice. We're not trying to get their attention, but our confidence and happiness are like a warm, inviting glow. Have you ever seen a firefly light up on a summer night? That's kind of what it's like when we're growing and feeling good about ourselves. Let me tell you about a boy. Max used to be very shy and didn't talk much in class, but then he found out he loved telling jokes. He started practicing at home, telling jokes to his family and his stuffed animals. As he got better at it, he felt more confident. One day at school, he told a joke during show and tell and everyone laughed. After that, his classmates started talking to him more, and he even made some new friends. Max's newfound confidence was like a magnet, drawing people towards him. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. When we grow and change like Max did, sometimes people from our past start to notice too. Maybe old friends we haven't seen in a while, or even people who didn't pay much attention to us before. It's like they can sense our new energy. Just like those butterflies sensing nectar from far away. But who do you think might come back into our lives? Could it be an old friend we lost touch with? Or maybe someone who didn't want to be our friend before? It's exciting to think about, isn't it? Sometimes people from our past do come back. They might see how much we've grown and want to be part of our lives again. You're drawn to our new, brighter selves. That's pretty cool, right? But here's something important to think about. Is everyone that comes back there for us? Just because someone wants to be in our lives again doesn't always mean it's the right thing. It's kind of like choosing which friends to play with at recess. You want to pick the ones that make us happy and help us grow, right? So what do you think? How can we tell if someone coming back into our lives is a good thing or not? That's a big question. And it's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to learn how to be a friendship protector? Remember when we talked about invisible ink in our last story? But today we're going to talk about something just as magical, but it happens in real life. Sometimes people from our past can be a bit like invisible ink. They might disappear for a while, but then suddenly they show up again in our lives. Think about playing hide and seek, and someone you haven't seen in a long time jumps out and says, "Here I am." That's kind of what it's like when people from our past come back. It can be a big surprise, right? Sometimes it might make us happy, and other times it might make us feel confused. Why do you think people might come back into our lives? There could be lots of reasons. Maybe they missed us and want to be friends again. Or maybe they saw how much we've grown and want to get to know the new us. Sometimes they might even need our help with something. Let me tell you a story about a girl named Emma. Emma had a best friend named Lily in first grade. But then Lily moved to different schools, and they didn't see each other for a long time. Emma was sad at first. She made new friends and learned to play the piano. 2 years later, guess what happened? Lily came back to Emma's school. She saw Emma playing piano at the school talent show, wanted to be friends again. Thought it's pretty cool how people can come back into our lives. It's like finding a toy you thought you lost forever. But here's the tricky part. We need to be careful with old friends and people we need to connect. Just like we check if our lost toy still works or if we still like playing with it. We need to think about whether having this person in our life again is a good idea. What do you think we should do when someone from our past comes back? Should we welcome them right away, or should we take some time to think about it? These are big questions, and it's okay if you're not sure how to answer them yet. The most important thing to remember is that we need to be careful. Just like we look both ways before crossing the street, we should think carefully before letting someone back into our lives. We want to make sure they're going to be a good friend and that they care about who we are now. Are you ready to learn how to tell if someone's return is good for us? Let's be detectives and figure out how to solve the mystery of returning friends. Now, who wants to play detective with me? Today, we're going to become intention detectives. Just like real detectives solve mysteries, we're going to learn how to figure out why people come back into our lives. Are you ready to put on your detective hat? Sometimes when people from our past show up again, it's like finding a puzzle piece we thought was lost. But here's the tricky part. We need to figure out if that piece still fits in our puzzle. That's why it's so important to understand their intentions. So how can we be good intention detectives? Well, we need to look for clues. Just like detectives use magnifying glasses, we use our eyes and ears to spot signs of clear and unspoken. Here are some clues we can look for. First, we can pay attention to how they talk to us. Do they ask about our new interests? Do they listen when we share our thoughts? Good friends will want to know about the new grown-up version of us. Next, we can watch their actions. Do they keep their promises? Do they make time to see us? True friends show they care through what they do, not just what they say about others. We can also notice how we feel. But do we feel happy and comfortable? Or do we feel worried or upset? Our feelings can be like a special detective tool that helps us solve the mystery. Let me tell you a story about two friends, Sam and Alex. Sam and Alex used to play together all the time, but then Alex moved away. A year later, Alex came back to visit. Sam was excited, but also a bit nervous. So Sam decided to be an intention detective. Sam noticed that Alex asked lots of questions about the new things Sam liked. Alex remembered Sam's favorite color and brought a small gift in that color. When they played together, Alex suggested games that Sam enjoyed. These were all clues that Alex had good intentions and really wanted to be friends again. But what if Alex had ignored Sam's feelings? Or what if Alex had only wanted to play games that Sam didn't like anymore? Those could have been clues that Alex's intentions weren't so good. Isn't it exciting to think that we can all be intention detectives? By looking for these clues, we can solve the mystery of why people come back into our lives. And the best part is, the more we practice, the better detectives we become. Remember, the most important detective tool we have is our intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to trust that feeling. You're the expert on you, after all. But here's another mystery to think about. What if the person who comes back has changed too? Just like we've grown and changed, they might have new interests and ideas. How can we figure out if their changes are good or not? That's what we're going to explore next. Are you ready for our next detective mission? Welcome back, friends. Today we're going to play a fun game called Spot the Growth. It's like our Spot the Difference game, but instead of looking at pictures, we'll learn to notice changes in people, even ourselves. Sometimes it's hard to see how people change. It's like they're wearing a magic cloak that hides their growth. This can be tricky, especially with people we've known for a long time. Imagine you have a friend who used to be scared of dogs. You always walked a different way to avoid the dog park. But what if one day your friend started to like dogs? They might not tell you right away, and you might not notice at first. That's why it's important to look for signs of growth in others. Why does it matter if we see how others have grown? Well, it's like giving someone a high five. When we notice and say nice things about someone's growth, it makes them feel good and helps them keep growing. Let me tell you about Tommy. Tommy used to get upset easily when playing games with his friends. He would shout and stomp his feet when he lost. His friends didn't want to play with him much, but Tommy decided to work on staying calm. He learned to take deep breaths and use kind words instead of shouting. At first, his friends didn't notice, but one day during a game, Tommy's team lost, and he didn't get upset at all. His friends were surprised and happy. They started inviting Tommy to play more often, and they became better friends. Isn't it amazing how amazing someone's growth can make friendships stronger? But how do we feel when people don't see how we've changed? It might make us feel sad or frustrated. We might even wonder if we've really grown at all. That's why it's so important to respect each other's growth. When we show others that we see and appreciate their changes, it makes everyone feel good. It's like saying, I see how hard you've worked, and I'm proud of you. This helps build stronger, happier friendships. Well, the next time you notice a friend or family member doing something different or better, tell them. You could say, wow, I noticed you're really good at sharing now, or I like how you stayed calm when things didn't go your way. These little words can make a big difference. Remember, we're all growing and changing all the time. Sometimes it's big changes, like learning a new skill, and sometimes it's small changes, like being a little kinder each day. By playing the spot the growth game, we can help each other become the best versions of ourselves. But here's a question to think about. What if noticing these changes brings back old feelings or memories? Sometimes seeing how someone has grown can make us feel happy, but it might also make us miss how things used to be. What do you think we should do when that happens? Welcome back, bookworms. This is Mrs. K. I'm happy you're here. Today, we're talking about something that might make you feel happy and a little sad at the same time. Have you ever found an old toy or heard a song that reminded you of when you were younger? This feeling is called nostalgia. It's like a warm hug from your memories. Maybe you smell cookies and think of baking with grandma, or hear a song that takes you back to a fun summer day. These memories can make us feel good, but they can be tricky too. When we remember the past, we often only think about the good parts. It's like wearing special glasses that make everything look perfect. But we know not everything was always perfect, right? Let me tell you about Sarah and her stuffed bear, Fluffy. Sarah loved Fluffy when she was little and took him everywhere. As Sarah grew up, she played with Fluffy less. One day, Sarah found Fluffy in her closet. She felt happy to see her old friend, but also a bit sad because she knew she had grown up. This happens to all of us as we get older. Things we used to love might not fit in our lives the same way anymore. It's like trying to wear your favorite shirt from when you were younger. It might still be a great shirt, but it doesn't fit you now. So what do we do when we feel nostalgic? It's okay to enjoy those happy memories. They're like a special treasure just for you. But it's also important to remember that we've grown and changed. We've learned new things and have new interests now. Doubly can enjoy our memories while still living in the present. It's like keeping a photo of your old stuffed animal, but also having fun with the new things you like to do now. Remember, it's normal to feel both happy and sad when you think about the past. That's part of growing up. The most important thing is to keep making new, wonderful memories every day. What do you think, bookworms? How do we know if something from our past should be part of our present? It's not always easy to figure out. That's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to learn how to make these tricky decisions? Welcome back, little gardeners. Today, we're talking about something special, our friendship garden. Just like real gardens, our friendships can grow and change. Sometimes they bloom beautifully, and other times they might need extra care. Let's explore how we can take care of our friendships. Have you ever helped plant flowers or vegetables? It's exciting to watch them grow, right? Our friendships are like those plants. We start them, take care of them, and watch them grow. Some friendships become big and strong like tall trees. Others might be like pretty flowers that make us smile every day. As we grow up, sometimes our friendship garden needs changes. It's like when plants need different care as they get bigger, our friendships can be the same way. When we learn new things and find out what we really like, some of our old friendships might feel different. It's not because they're bad friendships. They just might not match who we are now. It's like having a plant that needs lots of water in a dry garden. The plant isn't bad. It just needs different care. Let me tell you about Alex. He loved building with blocks when he was younger, and his best friend Mia did too. They would spend hours making tall towers together. But as Alex got older, he started to love drawing instead. Mia still liked blocks, but Alex wanted to spend more time drawing. Alex realized that his friendship with Mia was changing, just like his interest. So what can we do when a friendship feels different? We have some choices. Sometimes we can find new ways to connect with our old friends, like Alex showing Mia how to draw buildings. Other times we might need to give that friendship some space, like moving a plant to a new spot in the garden. The most important thing is to have friends who help us grow and be our best selves. These are the friends who cheer for us, listen to us, and make us laugh. They're like the best plant food for our friendship garden. How can we take good care of the friendships that help us grow? We need to give them time and care, just like watering plants and giving them sunshine. We can do this by being kind, listening, and showing our friends we care about them. Remember, having a good friendship garden takes time and effort. It's okay if some friendships change or if we make new friends. The most important thing is to have friends who help us become our best selves. But what if we're not sure about an old friendship? It can be hard to know what to do, right? Don't worry, next time we'll talk about how to handle tricky friendship situations. Are you ready to learn more about taking care of your friendships? Have you ever built a sandcastle and had to leave it behind? It's a bit sad, isn't it? Well, today we're going to talk about something called closure. It's just as important as that sandcastle. Sometimes we have to say goodbye to people or things we care about. It might be a friend who moves away, a toy we've outgrown, or even a pet fish that swims up to fishy heaven. Saying goodbye can be really hard. It's like leaving something special behind and you feel sad. Why is it so hard to let go? It's because of all the happy memories we have with that person or thing. Each memory is special, and we worry that saying goodbye might make us forget those memories. But it's okay to feel sad when something ends. It's important to let ourselves feel those feelings. It's like finishing a really good book. We might feel sad it's over, but we're also happy we got to read. Let me tell you about my friend Billy. Billy had a pet goldfish named Bubbles. He loved Bubbles so much, but one day Bubbles went to the big fishbowl in the sky. Billy was very sad. To help him say goodbye, we had a little ceremony. We drew pictures of Bubbles, shared funny stories about him, and even sang a silly fish song. It helped Billy feel better and remember all the good times with Bubbles. That's what closure is all about. It's like keeping all our memories safe in a special place in our hearts. We're not really saying goodbye forever. We're just putting those memories somewhere safe so we can move forward. When we learn to say goodbye in a healthy way, it makes room for new and exciting things. Maybe Billy will get a new pet fish, or maybe he'll discover he loves taking care of plants instead. Who knows what could happen? So next time you have to say goodbye to someone or something, try finding your own way to do it. Think about happy memories, be thankful for the good times, and look forward to the future. It might feel sad at first, but it will help you feel better and ready for new adventures. Now that we've learned about closure, what's next? How can we keep our hearts safe and happy as we move forward? That's what we'll talk about in our next story. Are you ready to learn about protecting your heart? I can't wait to tell you all about it. 10. The boundary bubble. Welcome back, bookworms. This is Mrs. K. I'm glad you could join me. Today, we're going to talk about something special. Have you ever felt like you needed some space? Or maybe you wanted to say no, but didn't know how? Well, we're going to learn about a superpower that can help with all of that. This superpower is called a personal space shield. It's like an invisible shield that surrounds us and keeps us safe. Can you imagine having your very own shield? It's there to protect you and help you grow stronger every day. Our personal space shield is really important because it helps us decide what we're okay with and what makes us feel uncomfortable. It's like having a special area that only we control. Sometimes other people might try to come into our space when we don't want them to. That's not very nice, is it? Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. Sarah loved to share her toys, but sometimes her cousin Tommy would take them without asking. This made Sarah feel upset. So Sarah decided to use her personal space shield. She told Tommy, "I like playing with you, but please ask before you take my toys." That was Sarah setting a boundary. When we have a strong personal space shield, we feel safe and happy. It helps us make good choices and tells others how we want to be treated. It keeps out the yucky stuff and lets in all the good things. Saying no is part of your superpower too. It might seem a little scary at first, but it's actually really cool. When we say no to things that make us feel bad or uncomfortable, we're making our shield even stronger. The stronger our shield gets, the more we can grow and try new things. It's like having a safe space to practice being brave. When we know our shield will protect us, we feel more confident to make new friends, try new activities, or speak up for ourselves. Remember, your personal space shield is yours to control. You get to decide who comes close and who stays far away. It might take some practice to make your shield super strong, but I know you can do it. So what do you think? Are you excited to start using your personal space shield? It's a pretty awesome superpower, isn't it? But here's something to think about. How do we know what's best for us? How do we decide what should be inside our shield and what should stay outside? That's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to become a personal space shield expert? Welcome back, friends. Today we're going on a special journey to find something amazing. It's not buried treasure or a secret map. It's something even better, your self-worth. Sometimes we forget how special we are. It's like our self-worth gets lost in a messy room. But don't worry, I'll help you find it. Think of your self-worth as a beautiful flower. When you're kind or try your best, that flower grows bigger. But sometimes we forget to take care of our flower and it droops. That's when we need to give it some love and remember how great we are. How do we help our self-worth flower grow? We can start by saying nice things to ourselves. It's like giving our flower sunshine. Look in the mirror and say, I am kind, or I am smart. These words are like magic water that helps our self-worth grow strong. You can also do things we enjoy. Maybe you love singing or playing with toys. When we do these things, it's like giving our flower extra food to make it healthy and happy. Let me tell you about my friend Lily. Lily loved to paint, but one day she couldn't make her picture look like her friends. She felt sad and thought she wasn't good at anything. Then Lily remembered she was great at making up stories. She told her friends an exciting tale about a magical garden, and everyone loved it. Lily realized she had many talents, and her self-worth flower started to bloom again. Can you imagine all the ways our self-worth can grow? There could be petals of kindness, leaves of creativity, and a strong stem of bravery. The more we care for our flower, the more beautiful it becomes. When we know our own worth, it helps us make good choices. It's like having a special book that shows us how to take care of ourselves. We might pick friends who are nice to us or try new things without being scared of making mistakes. Now that we've helped our self-worth flower grow, what should we do next? Should we keep it to ourselves or share its beauty with others? That's what we'll talk about next. Are you ready to learn how to show the world your amazing self-worth flower? I can't wait to tell you more. Remember how we talked about finding our self-worth treasure? Well, now we're going on an even bigger adventure, our personal growth journey. It's like a magical path through a forest full of surprises. Every step we take helps us learn and grow stronger. Sometimes we might trip or get a little lost, but that's okay. These tricky parts teach us how to solve problems and make us braver. Let me tell you about my friend Lily. She wanted to learn how to ride a bike without training wheels. At first, she kept falling and felt pretty upset. But she didn't give up. She practiced every day, and after a week, she could ride all by herself. Lily's bike adventure taught her to keep trying, even when things are hard. Whenever we try something new or face a challenge, it's like adding a special mark to our growth journey map. Maybe you learned to tie your shoes or made a new friend. All these experiences help us become amazing, unique people. What exciting things might be waiting for you on your growth journey? Will you find a new talent? Help someone in a special way? Learn something totally new? There are so many possibilities. Remember, every step forward is something to be proud of. It's like planting a seed. At first, you might not see anything happening, but under the soil, that little seed is growing roots and getting ready to sprout. So what do you think? Are you excited to explore your own growth journey? What kind of adventures do you hope to have? What new things do you want to learn? Here's something fun to think about. What if someone wants to join us on our journey? Maybe a friend or a family member. Is it okay to let others be part of our growth adventure? That's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to find out how we can grow together with others while still following our own special path? I can't wait to tell you more. Welcome back, everyone. This is Mrs. K, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Who likes putting puzzles together? I bet many of you do. Well, guess what? We're going to talk about a special kind of puzzle, the relationship puzzle. Our friendships and relationships are like pieces of a big, colorful puzzle. When we make new friends, it's like adding new pieces to our puzzle. But here's the thing, not all pieces fit perfectly. And that's okay. Sometimes we meet someone new and think they'll be a great friend. But as we get to know them, we realize they don't quite fit with us. It's like trying to put a square piece in a round hole. It just doesn't work. So how do we know if someone is a good fit for our relationship puzzle? One way is to look at our shared interests and values. Values are the things that are important to us, like being kind, honest, or loving animals. When we share these with someone, It's like our puzzle pieces of matching patterns. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. Sarah loves solving mysteries and helping animals. One day, she met a new girl named Emma at the animal shelter. They were both walking dogs. As they talked, they found out they both liked solving puzzles and helping animals. Sarah and Emma's puzzle pieces fit well together because they shared these interests and values. Isn't it exciting to think about all the great people we might meet who could fit into our relationship puzzle? Some might be old friends, while others might be new friends we haven't met yet. The best part is, our puzzle can keep growing and changing as we do. Remember, finding the right pieces for our puzzle takes time and patience. We might try out lots of different pieces before we find the ones that fit just right. And that's okay. Every person we meet teaches us something new about ourselves and what we want in a friend.so. The next time you meet someone new, think about your relationship puzzle. Do your pieces fit well together? Do you share the same interests and values? It's okay if they don't. There are lots of other pieces out there waiting to be discovered. But here's something to think about. What if a piece we thought fit perfectly starts to feel a bit uncomfortable? Maybe a friend we've known for a long time starts to change, or we start to change ourselves. What should we do then? That's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to learn more about how our relationship puzzle can change over time? I can't wait to share more with you. Now, who can tell me their favorite kind of weather? Is it sunny days, rainy afternoons, or maybe snowy mornings? Our feelings are a lot like the weather. Sometimes we feel bright and sunny. Other times we might feel a bit cloudy or even stormy. Did you know that our emotions can change just like the weather does? One minute we might feel as happy as a warm, sunny day, and the next we could feel as gloomy as a rainy afternoon. It's totally normal for our emotional weather to change throughout the day. But here's something interesting to think about. The people around us can affect our emotional weather too. It's like they have their own little weather systems that can mix with ours. Some people are like warm sunshine. They make us feel happy and bright when we're around them. Others might be like rain clouds, making us feel a bit down or gloomy. Let me tell you about my friend Tommy. Tommy has two classmates, Sarah and Ben. When Tommy plays with Sarah, he always feels cheerful and excited, like it's a perfect sunny day for a picnic. But when he's around Ben, who often says mean things, Tommy feels sad and gloomy, like it's a rainy day stuck inside. And you think of any sunny day friends you have? How about any rainy day people? Now, I bet you're wondering how we can make more sunny days in our emotional weather forecast. Well, that's the exciting part. We have the power to create our own good weather. We can choose to spend time with people who make us feel good, just like Tommy enjoys playing with Sarah. We can also do things we love, like reading a favorite book or playing a fun game. These are like little rays of sunshine that brighten up our day. Remember, it's super important to surround ourselves with positive influences. These are the people and things that help make our emotional weather forecast sunny and bright. They're like our personal sunshine makers. But what happens if a big storm comes out of nowhere? Sometimes, even when we try our best to keep our emotional weather sunny, a storm might still show up. Maybe something sad happens, or we get in an argument with a friend. Don't worry, we'll talk about how to handle those unexpected storms in our next chat. Are you ready to learn how to be your very own weather superhero? I can't wait to share more with you. You want to be a superhero? Well, guess what? You already are one. Today, we're going to talk about a special superpower that every single one of you has. It's called self-care, and it's pretty amazing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mrs. K, how can taking care of myself be a superpower? Well, let me tell you, it's one of the most important powers you can have. Self-care is like charging up your superhero battery. When you take good care of yourself, you have more energy to do all the things you love and help others too. But here's the tricky part. Sometimes we forget to use our self-care superpower. We get so busy playing, learning, and having fun that we don't remember to recharge our batteries. It's like forgetting to plug in your tablet before it runs out of power. Oops. So what are some ways we can use our self-care superpower? Well, there are lots of simple things you can do. Getting enough sleep is like putting on your superhero cape. It helps you feel strong and ready for the day. Eating healthy foods is like fueling up your superhero jetpack. And taking time to relax and do things you enjoy, that's like giving your superhero mind a big comfy hug. Let me tell you about my friend Emma. Emma loved to play soccer, but one day she felt really tired and grumpy. She didn't want to play with her friends or even eat her favorite snack. Emma's mom reminded her to use her self-care superpower. So Emma took a nice bubble bath, read her favorite book, and went to bed early. The next day, Emma woke up feeling happy and full of energy again. She was ready to play soccer and have fun with her friends. That's the power of self-care. Isn't it exciting to think that you have this amazing superpower? Every time you brush your teeth, take a nap when you're tired, or tell someone how you're feeling, you're using your self-care superpower. It's like you're putting on your invisible superhero suit. And here's the best part. When we take good care of ourselves, we can help others even more. It's like how superheroes in movies always make sure they're strong and ready before they go out to save the day. When we feel good, we can be better friends, helpers, and learners. So are you ready to become a self-care superhero? Remember, every time you do something to take care of yourself, your superpower gets stronger. You're doing something really important and amazing. But wait a minute. What if someone tries to stop you from using your self-care superpower? What if they say it's not important or that you should always put others first? Well, that's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to learn how to protect your super important self-care power? I can't wait to share more with you. Welcome back, friends. Today, we're going to talk about something really important, our friendships. Did you know that friendships need care just like plants or pets? Let's explore how we can make our friendships strong and happy. Have you ever thought about what makes a good friend? It's like putting together a puzzle. Each piece matters, and when they all fit, we get a beautiful picture of friendship. What are some of these important pieces? One big piece is kindness. When we're kind to our friends, it makes them feel special and loved. Another important piece is trust. When our friends can count on us, it makes our friendship stronger. Let me tell you about my friends Sarah and Emma. They have a great friendship. Sarah always listens when Emma's feeling sad, which is like adding a piece of understanding to their friendship puzzle. Emma makes Sarah laugh when she's having a bad day, which is like adding a piece of joy. Together, they've made a friendship that's as wonderful as a finished puzzle. Isn't it fun to think about making your own friendship puzzle? Maybe you'll add a piece of silliness, shared interests, or loyalty. The best part is every friendship can be unique. Remember, just like it takes time to finish a big puzzle, the best friendships take time to grow. We can't rush them or expect them to be perfect right away. Sometimes we might need to move pieces around, and that's okay. What do you think your friendship puzzle would look like? What special pieces would you add? I bet you have some great ideas, but here's something to think about. What if we put the wrong piece in our friendship puzzle? Maybe we say something unkind or forget to keep a secret. What should we do then? That's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to learn how to fix a friendship puzzle that's gone a little wrong? I can't wait to tell you more. Have you ever gotten a scrape on your knee and needed a Band-Aid? Well, sometimes our feelings can get hurt too. That's why today we're going to talk about something really special called an emotional first aid kit. It's like a magical toolbox that helps us feel better when we're sad, angry, or upset. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mrs. K, how can we put a Band-Aid on our feelings? Well, it's about tools that can make our hearts feel better. Sometimes things happen that make us feel bad inside. Maybe a friend said something mean, or we didn't do as well on a test as we hoped. When that happens, it's like our heart gets a little bruised. That's when we need our emotional first aid kit. So what do we put in this special kit? We can start with deep breaths. Taking slow, deep breaths is like giving our feelings a big, warm hug. We can also add our favorite stuffed animal or a cozy blanket. These things are like comfort food for our hearts. Let me tell you about my friend Timmy. One day, Timmy felt really sad because he couldn't go to the park with his friends. His mom reminded him about his emotional first aid kit. Timmy took some deep breaths, hugged his favorite teddy bear, and drew a picture of how he was feeling. After a while, Timmy started to feel much better. He was ready to play at home and even came up with a fun new game. Isn't it cool to think about all the different things we could put in our emotional first aid kits? Maybe you'd like to add a happy song that always makes you smile, or a special rock that you can hold when you're feeling worried. Your kit can be as unique as you are. Remember, having an emotional first aid kit doesn't mean we'll never feel sad or upset, but it does mean we'll be ready to take care of ourselves when those feelings come. It's like being our own superhero, always ready to save the day. So what do you think you'd like to put in your emotional first aid kit? A favorite book? A picture of someone you love? There are so many great things you could choose. But here's something to think about. What if we have a really big feeling that our kit can't fix right away? What if we're so upset that none of our tools seem to work? Don't worry. That's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to learn what to do when we have super big feelings? I can't wait to tell you more. Welcome back, everyone. This is Mrs. K, and I'm so excited you're here with me today. Who can tell me what the colors on a traffic light mean? That's right. Red means stop. Yellow means slow down. And green means go. Did you know we can use these same colors to help us figure out who to trust? Let's imagine we have a special traffic light inside that lights up when we meet new people or spend time with others. This light helps us decide if someone is safe to be around or if we should be careful. Isn't that cool? Sometimes we might think everyone deserves a green light right away, but that's not always true. Just like we look both ways before crossing the street, we need to pay attention to how people act before we trust them completely. Do we know what color light to give someone? Let's talk about some examples. If someone is always kind to you, listens when you speak, and keeps their promises, that's a green light behavior. These are the people who make you feel safe and happy. Yellow light behaviors are when someone sometimes acts nice, but other times they might not be so friendly. Maybe they forget to include you in games or say things that hurt your feelings without meaning to. With yellow light people, we can still be friendly, but we might want to be a little careful. Red light behaviors are the ones that make us feel scared or upset. If someone is mean, breaks promises all the time, or tries to make you do things you don't want to do, that's definitely a red light. It's important to tell a grown-up you trust if you see red light behaviors. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. Sarah met a new girl named Emma at the park. At first, Emma was really nice and shared her toys, but then Emma started to only be nice when she wanted to play with Sarah's toys. Sarah's trust traffic light turned yellow. She decided to be careful around Emma and not share her special toys until she knew Emma better. Isn't it exciting to think that you have your very own trust traffic light? It's like having a superpower that helps you make smart choices about who to trust. Every time you use your trust traffic light, you're keeping yourself safe and learning more about building good friendships. Remember, it's really important to listen to your inner traffic light. If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to slow down or stop. Your feelings are important and they help keep you safe. But here's something to think about. What if the light keeps changing colors? Maybe someone is green one day, but yellow the next. What should we do then? That's what we're going to talk about next. Are you ready to learn more about how to handle changing trust traffic lights? I can't wait to share more with you. Friends, let's think about something fun. Have you ever thrown a boomerang? It's amazing how it comes right back to you. Well, kindness works just like that. It's like a special boomerang that always finds its way home. When we do something nice for someone, it might not come back right away. We might wonder if our kindness made a difference. But here's the cool part. Kindness always comes back. Even if we don't see it right away. You can spread kindness in easy ways every day. We can smile at someone who looks sad, help a friend with homework, or just say thanks to our parents or teachers. These small acts are like tiny kindness boomerangs we send out. Let me tell you about my friend Tommy. One day, he saw a new kid sitting alone at lunch. Tommy sat with him and shared his cookies. The new kid, Alex, was so happy. A few weeks later, when Tommy forgot his lunch money, guess what? Alex shared his lunch with Tommy. The kindness boomerang came back. Isn't it exciting to think about the surprises kindness can bring? Maybe the person you help today will help someone else tomorrow, and so on. Your small act could start a big chain of nice things happening. Here's something cool. When we're kind to others, we feel happier too. It's like our kindness boomerang gives us a big hug. People notice our kindness and want to be nice to us too. We're spreading happiness everywhere. Being kind to ourselves matters too. When we take care of ourselves, it's easier to be kind to others. It's like charging up our kindness boomerang so it can fly further. So are you ready to throw your kindness boomerang and see what happens? You'll be amazed at all the wonderful things that come back. But what if someone catches our kindness boomerang and doesn't throw it back? What if we're nice to someone and they're not nice in return? That can feel disappointing, right? Don't worry. Next time we'll talk about what to do when that happens. Are you ready to learn more about spreading kindness, even when it's hard? I can't wait to share more with you. Have you ever tried to speak a different language? It can be pretty tricky, right? Well, talking about our feelings is kind of like speaking a whole new language too. Let's explore how we can become feelings translators. Sometimes it's hard to find the right words to say how we feel. We might know we're upset, but we're not sure if we're sad, angry, or maybe even a little scared. It's like trying to describe a color we've never seen before. But don't worry, I've got some great ideas to help us become expert feelings translators. First, we can pay attention to how our body feels. Does your tummy feel funny when you're nervous? Do your cheeks get hot when you're embarrassed? These body clues can help us figure out what emotion we're feeling. Another great trick is to use a feelings chart. It's like a menu of emotions with pictures that show different facial expressions. When you're not sure how you feel, you can look at the chart and find the face that matches yours. Let me tell you about my friend Lily. One day, Lily came to school feeling upset, but she didn't know how to explain it. Her teacher showed her a feelings chart, and Lily pointed to the frustrated face. She realized she was feeling frustrated because she couldn't tie her shoes that morning. Once Lily could name her feelings, she felt much better and was able to ask for help. It's amazing how many different feelings we can have. There are so many emotion words to discover. We might feel happy, curious, proud, or even silly. Learning new feeling words is like adding more colors to our emotional rainbow. When we can clearly say how we feel. It helps our friends and family understand us better. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, everything becomes clearer. If we tell our friend, I feel sad that we can't play today, they'll understand why we look upset and might even suggest playing another time. But what if we use our feelings words and someone still doesn't understand how we feel? Maybe they speak a different emotional language. Don't worry though. Next time we'll talk about what to do when that happens. Are you ready to learn more about how to help others understand their feelings? I can't wait to share more with you. Welcome back, friends. This is Mrs. K, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Have you ever grown a plant from a seed? It's amazing to watch something so tiny turn into a beautiful flower or yummy vegetable. Today, we're going to talk about growing something special, a gratitude garden. You might be thinking, Mrs. K, how can we grow gratitude? It's not a plant, but being thankful is a lot like taking care of a garden. Little seeds of thankfulness in our hearts. Every time we notice something good and say thank you, we're planting a seed. It could be thanking your parents for taking care of you or being grateful for your favorite snack. And sometimes we forget to water our gratitude garden. We get busy with school and playing, and we might not notice the good things around us. If we don't pay attention, our gratitude might not grow as big and strong as it could. Or keep our gratitude garden growing. We can think about the good things in our lives every day. It's like giving our gratitude plants lots of sunshine and water. When we do this, we start to feel happier. Let me tell you about my friend Emma. Emma started writing down things she was thankful for every night. On Monday, she wrote, I'm grateful for my dog's wagging tail. On Tuesday, it was, I'm thankful for the pretty sunset I saw today. As Emma kept writing, she started looking for good things all day long. Her gratitude garden was growing in a special way. What do you think your gratitude garden might look like? Maybe you'll have bright sunflowers of thanks for your family and friends, or tall trees of gratitude for your favorite books. You might even have little sprouts of thankfulness for cozy blankets or the sound of rain. When our gratitude garden grows strong, something wonderful happens. We start to notice even more good things in our lives. It's like how a beautiful garden brings butterflies. Our thankfulness brings more reasons to be grateful. But what if weeds try to grow in our gratitude garden? Sometimes sad feelings or bad days might try to crowd out our thankfulness. Oh, don't worry. Next time we'll talk about how to keep our gratitude gardens healthy, even when things get tough. Are you ready to learn how to be a great gratitude gardener? I can't wait to share more with you. Oh, you little sailors. Who's been on a boat ride before? Isn't it fun to feel the wind in your hair and see water all around you? Today we're going to talk about a special kind of boat called the forgiveness ferry. It's not a real boat, but it's really important. Imagine there's a big wide river in front of you. On the other side is a beautiful place where you feel happy and free. But sometimes when someone hurts our feelings or does something that makes us sad, it's like that river gets super wide. We might think it's too big to cross. That's where the forgiveness ferry comes in. Forgiveness is like a magical boat that helps us cross that big river of hurt feelings. It's not always easy to get on, but when we do, it helps us feel better. You might be wondering, Mrs. K, how does forgiveness help us? Well, when we forgive someone, it's like we're letting go of heavy rocks we've been carrying. Those rocks are all the sad or angry feelings we've been holding on to. When we drop them, our boat can go much faster across the river. Let me tell you about my friend Tommy. One day, Tommy's sister broke his favorite toy car. Tommy was so upset. He didn't want to talk to his sister or play with her. It was like a big river of anger between them. But then Tommy's mom told him about the forgiveness ferry. Tommy thought hard and decided to forgive his sister. He told her it was okay and that he knew she didn't mean to break his toy. Guess what? Tommy felt so much better. It was like he crossed that river and found a sunny beach on the other side. Can you imagine how good it feels to reach the other side of that forgiveness river? It's like finding a new world where you can play and laugh again. When we forgive, we're not saying that what happened was okay. We're just choosing to let go of those hurt feelings so we can be happy again. Here's something cool about the forgiveness ferry. It's a gift we give ourselves. When we forgive, we're the ones who feel better. We don't have to carry around all those heavy, sad feelings anymore. It's like giving ourselves a big hug. But what if we're not ready to get on the forgiveness ferry yet? What if we're still too hurt? That's okay too. Sometimes we need more time before we're ready to forgive. Next time, we'll talk about what to do when we're not ready to board the ferry. Are you excited to learn more about how to handle big feelings? I can't wait to tell you all about it. Remember how we talked about superheroes? Today, we're going to talk about a special superhero power that you all have. It's called confidence, and it's like wearing a magical cape. Have you ever dressed up as a superhero? It's fun to put on that cape and feel like you can do anything, right? That's what confidence feels like. It's like an invisible cape that makes you feel strong and brave. Sometimes our confidence cape can feel heavy. Maybe you're trying something new and you're not sure if you can do it. Or maybe someone said something that made you feel sad. That's when our cape might feel too big or too heavy. But don't worry. We can make our confidence cape stronger and lighter. One way is to remember what we're good at. What do you do really well? Maybe you're great at drawing, or you're a fast runner, or you give the best hugs. Thinking about these things is like adding sparkles to our cape. We can also boost our confidence by trying new things. Even if we're not perfect at first, just trying is like adding a shiny badge to our cape. And every time we practice, our cape gets a little stronger. Let me tell you about my friend Lily. She wanted to learn how to ride a bike, but she was scared of falling. Her confidence cape felt heavy that day. But Lily decided to be brave and try anyway. She put on her helmet, grabbed the handlebars, and started pedaling. She wobbled at first, but she kept going. After a few tries, Lily was riding all by herself. Her confidence cape was shining so bright, you could probably see it from space. Isn't it cool to think about all the things our confidence cape lets us do? When we wear it, we can try new things, make new friends, and even help others feel brave. It's like a superpower that gets stronger every time we use it. Our confidence cape helps us face all kinds of challenges. Whether it's reading a book in front of the class, trying a new food, or standing up for a friend, our cape is there to help us be brave. What if someone tries to take our cape away? What if they say mean things or tell us we can't do something? Don't worry, we'll talk about that next time. Are you ready to learn how to protect your amazing confidence cape? I can't wait to tell you more. You know how your house feels just right when it's not too hot and not too cold. Our feelings can be like that too, but sometimes our emotions get out of balance. What if I told you that you have a special power to control your inner weather? Let's learn how to use your very own happiness thermostat. Have you seen a thermostat at home? It's that little box on the wall that keeps your house cozy. Well, guess what? We have something like that inside us too. It's called our happiness thermostat, and it helps us manage our feelings. Sometimes our happiness thermostat goes too high. We might feel super excited and bouncy, like we've had too much sugar. Other times it might go too low and we feel a bit gloomy, like a rainy day. Both can make us uncomfortable, but here's a cool part. We can learn to adjust our own happiness thermostat. It's like having a magic remote for our feelings. When we feel too hyper, we can take deep breaths to cool down. If we're feeling low, we can do something fun to cheer you up. Let me tell you about my friend Sam. One day, Sam was so excited about his birthday party that he couldn't sit still. His happiness thermostat was way too high. So Sam took some deep breaths and read his favorite book. This helped him calm down and enjoy his party even more. Isn't it neat to think you can control your own inner weather? Maybe you like feeling calm and content like a perfect spring day. Or maybe you prefer feeling more energetic like a sunny summer afternoon. Everyone's perfect setting is different, and that's okay. Remember, you can adjust your happiness thermostat. If you're feeling too upset, you can do things that make you happy, like playing with a pet or singing a song. If you're too excited to focus, you can do calming things like coloring or building with blocks. The best part is, when we learn to control our emotions, we feel more comfortable and can handle different situations better. It's like being able to enjoy a picnic no matter what the weather's like outside. But what if someone keeps trying to change your thermostat setting? What if a friend always wants you to be super excited when you'd rather be calm? Don't worry, we'll talk about how to handle that next time. Are you ready to become a master of your inner weather? I can't wait to share more with you. Imagine if you could turn every fall into a chance to soar even higher. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that you already have a special tool to do just that? It's called your resilience trampoline, and it's about to become your new favorite playground equipment. Have you ever jumped on a trampoline? It's so much fun. You bounce up high, then come back down, and then bounce even higher. Well, our lives are a lot like being on a big trampoline. Sometimes things happen that make us feel like we've fallen down. Maybe you didn't do well on a test, or a friend said something that hurt your feelings. When this happens, it can feel really hard to get back up. It's like we've landed on the trampoline, but we're just sitting there, not sure how to start bouncing again. But here's where the magic happens. We all have something called resilience. It's like a special power that helps us bounce when we fall. Just like how a trampoline helps us jump higher, our resilience helps us come back even stronger after tough times. Let me tell you about my friend Tommy. Tommy loved to build towers with blocks. One day he was building the biggest tower he'd ever made. But just as he was about to put the last block on top, the whole thing fell down. Tommy felt so sad. But then he remembered his resilience trampoline. He took a deep breath, thought about what he learned from his fallen tower, and started building again. This time he made the base wider, and guess what? His new tower was even taller than before. Can you imagine how great it feels to bounce back like that? It's like you're at the very top of your jump on the trampoline, and you can see everything around you. You feel strong, brave, and ready for anything. The best part is every time we use our resilience trampoline, we get a little bit stronger. It's like exercising a muscle. The more we practice bouncing back, the better we get at it. Soon, even big falls won't keep us down for long. But what if our trampoline gets a little worn out? Sometimes, after a lot of bouncing, we might feel tired. Don't worry, though. In our next chat, we're going to talk about how to take care of our resilience trampoline so it's always ready when we need it. Are you excited to learn how to keep your bouncing power strong? I can't wait to share more with you. Remember, every fall is a chance to bounce back higher. So next time something tough, think of your resilience trampoline. Take a deep breath and get ready to soar. Welcome back, music lovers. This is Mrs. K, and I'm so happy you're here. Today, we're going to talk about a special kind of music, our self-care melody. Have you ever thought about how you take care of yourself? It's like making your own song. Your kindness, creativity, and bravery are the notes that make up this beautiful tune. When all these parts of you come together, it creates a melody that's just for you. Sometimes our self-care melody might not sound quite right. We might forget how special we are, or we might listen to unhappy thoughts. It's like when a guitar string is too loose or a piano key is out of tune. How can we make our self-care melody sound better? There are lots of easy ways. We can start by doing nice things for ourselves every day. It's like tuning each instrument carefully. We can also do things that make us smile, like reading a book or playing with friends. That's like practicing our favorite songs. Let me tell you about my friend Zoe. Zoe loved to dance, but sometimes she worried about what others thought. Her self-care melody was very quiet. So Zoe decided to dance just for herself. Every afternoon, she put on her favorite music and danced in her room, not caring if anyone was watching. Soon, Zoe's self-care melody was playing loud and clear. She even joined a dance class at school. Can you imagine how wonderful your self-care melody could sound? Maybe it's as big as a marching band or as gentle as a lullaby. The best part is your melody is special. No one else's sounds exactly like yours. When we play our self-care melody with joy, something amazing happens. Other people start to hear our beautiful music too. They might want to create their own self-care melodies. Soon, we could have a whole concert of people celebrating how they take care of themselves. Remember, you're the composer of your self-care melody. You get to choose which notes to play and how soft or loud. Even if you make a mistake sometimes, that's okay. Just keep practicing, and your music will get more beautiful every day. Now, let's put all our melodies together for a big finish. Can you imagine how amazing it would sound if everyone played their self-care melody at the same time? That's the kind of music that can make the world a happier place. Are you ready to start your song? Welcome back, friends. This is Mrs. K, and I'm so proud of all the amazing things we've learned together. Remember, you have a special strength inside you that makes you unique and wonderful. It's important to take care of yourself and set boundaries that make you feel safe and happy. You're all growing into amazing, caring people. I can't wait to see the great things you'll do as you keep learning and loving yourselves. Remember, you're special just the way you are.